Hello everybody and welcome to lesson 4 and lesson 5 of English, because this is the end of week bit. We're doing a big piece of writing and we're giving you 2 days like we would actually in school, wouldn't we? Very rarely would we get something and just say write it all right now, because you want to have time to kind of
craft it, make it good. And you know what, and we get tired, don't we?
Yeah,
you don't
exactly.
want to do loads in one day. Do a little bit, have a break, do some more tomorrow.
Exactly. So piece of writing yet again is a recount, okay? But whereas before when we did our Winter Olympics we were writing about something that actually happened, this time we're not, are we?
We are pretending an animal visited our house.
Absolutely. Yeah. And in many ways we've already done the hard bit here, haven't we? Because yesterday we came up with our plan, and actually if you've done yesterday's lesson, you're going to have that written down, aren't you? And I think that is the ideal place to begin. We're not starting from scratch here. We're looking back. What is our idea? It was yesterday now. I've already forgotten. I don't know about you. So let's remind ourselves what we came up with yesterday. Remember, we were planning our recount. We had to answer some questions. We wrote our answers down. Let's have a look, Mr. Fenn. So the octopus. So it was an octopus, wasn't it? The octopus was in my living room.
Yeah.
It came out of the toilet and crawled into the living room.
Yeah.
It read the newspaper, made itself a coffee while struggling, and played Monopoly. Finally, it helped itself to some stinky cheese and slid through the letterbox. Pretty funny, isn't it?
It's great. I love
so
it.
those are all our ideas. We've got our animal, the octopus, our location, the setting, the living room. We've got the things it did, okay, the events that we're now going to recount as though they actually happened. Okay, so as ever we've provided some sentence starters, although they're not particularly big ones. Ultimately they're all adverbs of time or adverbial phrases. We got earlier this week, first, next, after that, later, and then adding into the mix this time I've put a little quiz for you, Mr. Fenn. What kind of sentence types are these going to be? I've got what and how.
Okay, and an exclamation mark at the end, so you've got those exclamations that we learnt about earlier in the week. Yeah, okay.
Absolutely right, because I have a feeling...
What a strange day it was.
Exactly.
What a strange octopus it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
How odd to see it playing Monopoly. Yeah. Okay, so we might want to use some exclamation. This is the kind of writing where we would, because everything that happened is very strange.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
Abnormal, you might say. Okay, so let's start then. The first bit of it is kind of going to be that introduction bit, isn't it?
Okay.
It kind of frames it, so
I won. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, no.
I was just thinking back to the lesson you taught on Monday, and that word, astonishing.
Yeah.
Because frankly, if I had really seen an octopus in my house eating cheese, playing Monopoly, I would have been quite surprised.
Yeah.
I would have been astonished.
Yeah. So you want to use astonished?
Yeah.
So, well, I'm going to say earlier.
Well, you carry on.
Yeah. So earlier this week.
Yeah.
This week. Comma afterwards.
Yeah.
So earlier this week, an octopus. A slimy octopus.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. A slimy octopus.
Slimy
Octopus visited my house.
Yep, visited my house. And you know, I want to put, I'm actually thinking, sometimes a short sentence is quite effective. I might just put, it was astonishing.
Yeah, sharp. It was astonishing.
It was astonishing.
I mean, some of you might want to use the word astonishing. I mean, we might use it later on, but you could put, earlier this week, I was astonished.
When?
Well,
because.
You love it.
I do love when. I use when quite a lot.
Okay.
So I was astonished when an octopus visited my house, or because an octopus visited my house.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. So there we go. We've got our introduction. Earlier this week, a slimy octopus visited my house. It was astonishing.
Yes.
Okay? So that's our introduction. It kind of just sets the scene, doesn't it? It tells us what this piece of writing is about. Okay, and then from here on in, we're just writing about what happened. Okay. Now, usually we do this chronologically. One of those fancy words that has a really easy meaning.
Yeah.
In order.
Yeah.
Okay. We're making it up, aren't we? But the first thing is it coming in, isn't it?
Yeah.
So can you remember, how did we say it came in?
Well, we've just checked our notes from yesterday, so I still remember. So
Yeah.
first, it came out of the toilet, or
Yeah.
came through the toilet.
Yep. And I like, because we use that word crawl, that verb crawled, didn't we?
Yeah.
Which was quite good.
So first, it
First,
it came out of the toilet and
it. Do you know, I'm always thinking it leapt out of the toilet. That sounds.
yeah, okay, yeah.
So first, it leapt out of
The toilet.
the toilet and crawled to
The living room, yeah.
the living room. Okay. So
Okay.
we kind of, looking back at yesterday's plan, right? We've kind of done that. How did it get in?
Yeah.
That's going to be the first bit. How did your animal get in? And hopefully you made notes on that yesterday. So first, it leapt out of the toilet and crawled to the living room.
Okay.
Okay. So then we're just doing the things. We came up with 3 things it did yesterday.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's do. So next. Remembering that capital letter, they take up the whole line.
Yeah.
Next, comma. So
Okay,
next.
So next, right. What do we put?
We
read the newspaper.
You read the newspaper, yeah. I wondered, did it make a drink before?
Yeah. So we
Yeah.
can change it a little bit.
Yeah,
Like, so we said, like,
Because we're making it up, we've got that freedom.
like, so next, it helped itself to a cup of hot coffee.
Yep. Next
and then settled down with the newspaper.
Yep, brilliant. So next, it helped itself to a hot cup of coffee.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's think before we. Yeah. Right. Let's think. So, how do we want to put? And then settle down with the newspaper, or do we want to put a full stop and then go new sentence after that? It got the newspaper and began reading. I don't know what.
Yeah, well, I was thinking, because I followed the image of it juggling whilst making it. So next, it helped itself to a hot cup of coffee.
Whilst it was juggling with eggs,
Yeah.
tea bags, oranges.
Oh, I like tea bags because it's kind of.
Yeah,
making
you'd
a
be
hot
getting. Yeah, you keep tea next to coffee, don't you?
whilst it was
I don't
juggling.
have any here. No. Got socks.
Whilst it was juggling with tea bags. And you know, for Thursday, I might even say at this stage, do you know what? It's enough for today. So we kind of covered.
I think that's quite a lot for today. Yeah.
Earlier this week, Slimy Octopus visited my house.
Do you know what I would do if I was a parent teaching this? I'd say that's enough. I'm going to have a cup of tea,
Yeah.
bit of a rest,
And we'll
maybe-
finish this off tomorrow.
maybe even juggle with the tea bags, and we'll have a little break. Yeah.
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 So, you know, you might get to there and think that's enough
That's
for today.
plenty, yeah.
Carry on tomorrow. But
You might want to get it all done today. And
yeah,
then
well, it's totally up to you.
Yeah,
It's totally
it's
up to you. We're gonna carry on.
We'll carry
So-
on. Yeah.
We've covered that bit. So it had its cup of coffee whilst juggling the tea bags.
Right.
Okay,
So
what
now we've got
happens?
reading a newspaper and playing Monopoly.
Yep.
So let's. Right. Okay. After that.
Yep.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
After that.
After
I'm-
that.
I'm
After
put-
its coffee. After its drink. I
Yeah.
don't know, yeah. What do you think?
Yeah. After it finished. After it finished the coffee. Okay.
After it finished the coffee, it grabbed a newspaper and began reading, or
Yep.
it settled down with the newspaper
Yeah.
and read the
It
newspaper.
sat down.
It sat down and read the newspaper.
And read the newspaper. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that. And read the newspaper. Okay, then we have one more thing that it did before it went away,
Yeah.
which was playing Monopoly.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
we should put that. Then
yeah, later. Now,
should we put it or should we put the octopus? What
Let's
do
say the octopus. Later.
We haven't used the octopus for a while. Later, the octopus.
Later, the octopus played a game of Monopoly. I was thinking, but it kept knocking over the houses or something.
Yeah,
like
let's
that,
make it. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
later, the octopus played Monopoly.
Or, but the money kept sticking to its tentacles.
Oh, I like that. That's
Yeah.
good. But the money kept sticking to its tentacles.
Great.
Do you know, I almost want to put there, what a silly octopus or something like that, yeah. Exclamation, yeah?
Yeah.
What, yeah, so what a silly octopus.
Yeah, you could put
It
how
is.
silly it was. Yeah.
Yeah, what a silly octopus it is. There we go. Okay. And then all we've got now is the octopus leaving, abruptly leaving through the letterbox. So finally, because
yeah.
it's the last thing, finally, remembering that capital letter, finally, and then
So let's
comma
think.
after the
So
adverb.
finally, it grabbed some cheese. How stinky it was.
Yeah, finally.
I don't know. It finally grabbed some stinky cheese
Yep.
and slithered out through the letterbox.
Oh, and slithered. Yeah. So finally, it grabbed some stinky cheese and slithered out through the letterbox. And then I kind of want another exclamation because I think something. What a strange morning I had.
yeah, yeah, right, let's think of it.
What
Yeah.
an abnormal day in my house.
What a majestic octopus it was.
Yeah.
What should we put? Actually, majestic, now we've said that, thinking about the lesson earlier in the week, majestic, you might talk about if you see a magnificent animal. You might
Yeah, I
talk
did think like the
majestic-
majestic lion.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like a planned word, so that might be helpful. Funny that, isn't it?
Okay, what should we put?
I like what an abnormal day of home learning it was. Yeah.
Okay.
What an abnormal day of home learning it was.
What an abnormal day it was. What an abnormal day of home learning it was. Good.
I always think an exclamation is quite a nice way to end something like a
Yeah.
week out, kind of caps it off, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Okay? So we've got there, hopefully, a decent piece of writing. Let's go
Yeah.
back through it. So, earlier this week, a slimy octopus visited my house. It was astonishing. First, it leapt out of the toilet and crawled to the living room. Next, it helped itself to a hot cup of coffee whilst it was juggling with tea bags. After it finished the coffee, it sat down and I couldn't read my own handwriting then, worry. After it finished the coffee, it sat down and read the newspaper. Later, the octopus played Monopoly, but the money kept sticking to its tentacles. What a silly octopus it is. Finally, it grabbed some stinky cheese and slithered out through the letterbox. What an abnormal day of home I was just thinking, because we just had it was. I'm thinking, what an abnormal day of home learning I had.
Yeah,
Mix it up
Yeah.
a bit. Just flows a bit.
I had.
Sometimes when you read stuff back, you just find.
Yeah, I think it's important. Make sure you do read it back, and you'll just
You just
You'll
pick
just-
up on things.
when you read it and say it out loud, then you, as soon as you say it out loud, you're actually that sounds better.
Yeah.
And just do read it, because you can check. Have you started your sentence with a capital letter before you send it to Mr. Lake and Mr. Fenn? Have you formed your letters properly, like in the handwriting? Yeah. We all make mistakes. It's absolutely normal. I do. You do.
Certainly not abnormal.
Yeah. It's fine. If you have, just fix it up and yeah.
So should we reread that last bit? So now let's go for it. So after it finished the coffee, it sat down and read the newspaper. Later, the octopus played Monopoly, but the money kept sticking to its tentacle. What a silly octopus it is. Finally, it grabbed some stinky cheese and slithered out through the letterbox. What an abnormal day of home learning I had.
Great. Yeah, it's great.
Brilliant. So, you've got your sentence starters, and you've also got, which, should be really helpful if you refer to it, your notes, your plan from before where you answered the questions we set to kind of prompt you. So use those things and come up with your recount. You've got 2 days. Use them how you want to. And we can't wait to read some
I can't wait.
Yeah.
And this is really, if we get photographs along with the story,
that'd be brilliant.
it'd be a dream. We can have, this is going to be great on the Dojo class story.
This is, yeah.
And maybe even on the school Twitter. That is
with permission, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
So, please do, have fun writing it. Hopefully you do have fun writing it. I had a lot of fun writing that, to be honest. And yeah, good luck with your recounts. We can't wait to read them. See you soon.